Watch closely, because what I'm about to share reveals a truth that history has tried to bury. Imagine a collection of ancient texts, a book that supposedly survived a monastery fire, a book that holds secrets from both ancient Egypt and the Celtic Druids. This isn't just another old manuscript, this is the Kolbrin Bible, and its contents are so controversial, so paradigm-shifting, that some believe it was intentionally hidden from us. Now, we've all heard the story of the Great Flood, a tale of torrential rains and rising waters. But the Kolbrin paints a completely different, and far more terrifying, picture. According to its ancient pages, the cataclysm that reshaped our world wasn't a flood of water. It was a deluge of fire, delivered by a celestial entity it calls the Destroyer or the Fire Dragon. The manuscript describes this event with chilling detail. It wasn't a star, not a comet in the way we understand them today. The texts speak of a massive, fiery body appearing in the heavens, a celestial menace with a glowing red tail that flew close to the earth. It says the heavens burned, the land was scorched, and the seas boiled. It describes how this celestial intruder caused the very continents to shift, tilting the Earth's axis and bringing about an age of darkness and cold. And here's where it gets really strange. Modern science has confirmed a cataclysmic event around 12,800 years ago, known as the Younger Dryas impact theory. This period saw a sudden, drastic drop in global temperatures, the collapse of ancient civilizations like the Clovis culture, and the mass extinction of megafauna like the woolly mammoth. Scientists have found evidence of widespread wildfires and a layer of cosmic debris nanodiamonds and melted rock spherols spread across multiple continents. Could this scientific evidence be the physical scars of the fire dragon described in the Kolbrin? The timelines match with an eerie precision, but the story doesn't end there. The most disturbing part of the Kolbrin isn't what happened in the past. It's the warning it gives for our future. The book explicitly states that the Destroyer is not a one-time visitor. It's cyclical, it has returned before, and it is prophesied to return again. The text says, and I quote, "The hour of the Destroyer is at hand." It describes the signs that will precede its arrival: social decay, strange celestial phenomena, and a world lost in its own vanity. It feels alarmingly familiar, doesn't it? Now, let's delve into the most mysterious and heavily guarded part of the Kolbrin, the Egyptian texts. This section, often referred to as the Book of Gleanings or the Book of Scrolls, is said to have been deliberately suppressed. Why? Because it contains the most sensitive information of all details about the return and what happened to humanity during the last catastrophe. Think about the implications of this as cyclical catastrophe that wipes the slate clean every few thousand years. It would mean that our civilization isn't the first advanced society on this planet. It would mean that history as we know it is just one chapter in a much longer, much more violent story. The Kolbrin suggests that advanced civilizations existed before us, and they were wiped out by this recurring cosmic event. They left behind these warnings, hoping that the next civilization, our civilization, would be prepared. But there's one passage, a single, mind-bending sentence hidden within the text, that changes everything. It suggests that before the last great catastrophe struck, and I'm paraphrasing here, a portion of mankind was taken away to safety. Saved by the celestial gods. Let that sink in. This implies that some humans, perhaps the most advanced or the most enlightened, didn't just survive the disaster, they left the planet. If that's true, it completely rewrites the story of human origins and our place in the universe. Were we seeded here? Are we part of some grand cosmic cycle of destruction and rebirth? And if some humans were evacuated, who were these celestial gods? Were they extraterrestrials? Or were they an even more advanced, ancient human civilization that had already achieved space travel? This idea is so radical it could shatter the very foundations of our understanding of history, religion, and evolution. This brings us to the ultimate question: who wrote the Kolbrin? Was it the survivors of Atlantis, desperately trying to warn future generations? Were these texts penned by ancient Egyptian priests who had access to knowledge we've long since lost, or is it something more? Could the Kolbrin be a message left for us, not by other humans, but by the very beings who facilitated that ancient evacuation? A user manual for planet Earth, with a dire warning about its expiration date. The Kolbrin describes the destroyer as appearing like a great red dragon. It's fascinating to note how many ancient cultures, from China to Mesoamerica, have myths of dragons and fiery serpents from the sky. Are these all just coincidences, or are they fragmented memories of the same terrifying event, passed down through generations? The Kolbrin seems to be the Rosetta Stone that ties all these ancient myths together, presenting them not as fantasy, but as a historical record. So, let's consider the final, most pressing question. If the Kolbrin's prophecy is to be believed, and the destroyer's return is a cyclical event, how close are we to the next pass? The book lays out specific omens. It talks about an age of moral decay, of leaders who mislead their people, of a society obsessed with entertainment and distraction, a time when the laws of nature are forsaken for man-made laws. When you look at the world today, at the division, the conflicts, the strange weather patterns, and the general sense of unease, it's hard not to feel a shiver down your spine. Are we living in the final days foretold in this ancient book? Is this why knowledge like the Kolbrin has been suppressed to prevent mass panic, or to allow a select few to prepare in secret? We are left with a chilling puzzle. The Kolbrin is either one of the most elaborate hoaxes in history, or it is the most important warning we have ever been given. So I ask you to think about this. If a global catastrophe was imminent, would our leaders tell us? Or would we just be left to figure it out for ourselves? What do you believe? Is the Kolbrin a genuine ancient text, a dire warning from our ancestors? Or is it simply a collection of myths? And if it is real, what do you think the destroyer actually is? A rogue planet, a brown dwarf star, something else entirely? Leave your theories and your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss this, because the truth is often found not in what we are told, but in the questions we dare to ask about what has been hidden. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy exploring the mysteries of our past, make sure to subscribe for more.